Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is related to definitely the listener, what we have finished the major part in the last session. The question or the scenario is like that. All the databases you are dealing with, maybe hundreds of databases, all are looking good, but due to certain security reason, your management has decided that top priority databases, that is mission critical, business critical, top 3 databases, maybe PNR, maybe customer, okay, maybe flight operation, all these 3 top databases, port is to be changed.
Okay.
Port is to be changed, but you don't have liberty to shut down listener or kind of thing. Because whenever we are doing any change, first question how to do change in the listener port.
Right.
Number 2, how to change the listener port without shutting down the listener. Because normal processes, whenever we are doing any changes in listener, we have to shut down, do change, make startup to make it effective. Okay, so we are going to see 2 things here. Changing the listener, it's very easy. Might be you feel okay, this is what type of question you are asking, but yes, if you don't know, this question will kill you. You may think, okay, oh my God, what is this? So, question was changing the listener, right? So, we have to check the status of the listener. How to check the status of the listener? We all know that PS-CF, grep, inherit, or TNS. So, this listener is up and running. We have to shut down. Okay. Another way of logging to the listener interface we are learning today, new. Best practices, what I have shared with you. But apart from that, another way you will able to start and stop the listener. First step, LSNRCTL. Hit enter. Yesterday we didn't do in this way.
Okay.
I have given LSNRCTL space stop or start space listener name. Correct? Remember?
Okay. Okay.
Same. By coming here, now you can give top listener. Whatever the listener name is there, right? Listener underscore ORCL is the, you have to stop it. Okay, status listener. Start listener. Status listener. Make sense? Nothing tough. Same thing we have done, another way of doing it.
Okay.
You are with me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now, so how to do the change? So, and how to exit from this prompt where we are sitting, that is listener, LSNR, CTL, exit. That's it.
Yeah.
So, the way we have learned LSNR, CTL, SPOP, and then listener name. I have to change this 1522 to 1523. Easiest way is to go and check the listener file, do verify, make sure to take the backup before doing anything. This is a standard practice I'm showing you, so you never forget this step. I could have easily done in direct. I'm not doing it. Just to teach you a lesson, don't do that. Save. Done.
Okay.
On it. Just simple, very simple. Start the listener now. So LSNRCTL start listener, whatever listener name is. Sorry, I gave wrong name.
Listener. Just the listener is spelled. Typo with the listener.
Yeah, listener underscore Oracle is the name. Okay. So there will be a typo. Why? LSNR, right?
Yeah.
LSNRCTL. So sometime I'm knowingly doing mistakes, so you will be able to observe what I'm doing. Okay.
Right.
See the port.
Yeah. 2352.
But you don't want to suck down the port, but you want to change the listener.
Okay. Okay.
Question is clear, it's very simple. Answer is also very easy. I'm going back to doing the same 1522 or any other name what your management decided. Clear?
Yeah.
I've done the change back to 22 from 3. Command what I'm giving LSNR CTL reload. Makes sense? Reload.
Right. Okay.
What was there? 22, right? What was there earlier?
23.
23.
Yeah, 23.
Okay. So reload, what it is doing, some TNS protocol, no listener. I did some LS and CTL reload LS listener connection refuse. Okay. Check the status. ES minus EF. Where? TNS. Listener up and running. LSNR CTL status listener name. Okay.
Okay.
LSNR CTL. LSNR CTL status. Actually, what exactly it's supposed to do? It will reload means what? It will stop and stop immediately within a fraction of a second. It will be updated with the new one.
Okay.
Okay. So give me 1 second. Just what typo if I'm doing, I'll do, otherwise I'll accept it later on. I'll come with the conclusion. So LAS and well, let me share the screen. You can also see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Screen is visible, right? I didn't mention which listener, correct?
No.
Which listener is started with port 1521. Listener name is just listener. No name is there. By default, listener.
Right.
We didn't have anything related to 1521 in our file called listener.ora. I'll show you also. It was blank we created yesterday, if you remember, correct?
From what I remember, yeah.
If we will go and check what we remember, we never gave anything 1521 in the listener file. Is there anything available? If we can check cross-checking here, nothing is called listener, nothing is called 1521.
No, it's 22.
What we created, listener ORCL yesterday.
Yeah. Right,
But
22.
we gave a start and something called 1521 listener port got activated. How come? This is what default Oracle is keeping. Whether you will write here, don't write, it will
Activate.
take back.
Right. So you have 1522 here as the port. So
Have given, yeah.
so 20, right? So 21 and 22 got activated. 21 is the default, and 22 because you wrote it here.
Let us check.
Status.
Two listener is showing.
Yeah.
This name we never created. It's not
let's
available in the
look.
file also.
Right.
So that was not there 11 until 11. We have to, we used to create earlier. But 12 onwards, this has come.
Yeah, I see.
So reload is going to work only for the default listener. So if you are not giving any name, example, LSNRCTL space status, I'm not giving any listener name. By default, it is taking for last 4 minutes it is running 1521. Name itself declared called listener. In build, you can say.
Okay.
It was not there. 12 onwards it came. That's just for FYI.
Right.
One more thing is to observe. This is again for interview purpose. Till today, I never worked practically. One default service used to be there in the Oracle DB that is known as Oracle XDB, XML database.
Okay.
Used for some string situations for document database development team used to use. I never worked, so I'm not going to claim anything here, but just for FYI, you might have a question, Upendra, how come this is coming here? I don't know. This is with default listener 1521.
Okay.
Now, if you do any change means maybe you want to change the location, home location of this one. If needed, you might change it. Okay, so you want to reflect it, reload. Okay, so just for FYI, no need to bother here because this is not going to use that much. The reason I'm sharing this for interview purpose.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
And default is non-default. We need to change the port name, stop and start.
Okay.
Now, another question, and very important. This is again real live example I'm sharing with you. If I'll not share, I don't know how long it will take you to understand or learn it from the real experience. Question is, suppose, let me draw it for you. The drawing will you remember longer. Suppose This is a database. Under that, normally we used to have the basic component, the memory component, different memory. Few data files, code files, read log files, on and on. Okay, and this is the server, physical server. Okay, and here we are creating some client 1, or you can treat these are different local machines. And local machines, let me just create it for a little bit. These all are local machine, and circle is the session. Each and every session we are going to connect to the database, just for FYI. And outside this, another area, what we are saying, it's PGA, right? Program Global Area, if you remember.
Right.
Inside it, another thing I'm going to keep it. These all are server processes. You remember?
Yes.
We discussed that there is a mediator. Once the client server initiate, a client process instantiate, it will go check in the TNS names, it will go to the server. After server, it will find the server, then check the port. Port is open, it will check with that port whether the database is associated or not. If it found associated, then it will send this server process will be instantiated for that. That server process will take the user ID and password, go inside the database, the data dictionary. If all looks good, then the SQL prompt is coming.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, the new hero or villain is coming here. The question I'm going to put that. Suppose to connect with this particular one specific session, if this user is there, it needed higher server process, this, it will go into the connection will establish. Definitely, if listener is down, is it possible client will able to connect to the server, database server? If
If the listener is down, no.
As per what we understood, never, right?
Right.
If because from we are sitting outside and you are connecting through SQL plus, not directly logging to the database and all the no. From different machine, you are trying to connect directly into the SQL prompt. Without listener, it is never going to be possible. Agree?
Right.
So here I'm going to show you the same thing. Whatever we are discussing, I'm treating this as a client. Server is running behind the scene. And here, user ID was what? ISM admin, right? What we were using. @ORCL. And then the password. No listener means we know we have to go and start a listener. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So if you will check, first we have to check the status. This is the way we have to do troubleshoot. Correct?
Yep.
TNS. What we can see, it's running. Then what is the problem? What else you will check? Think for 30 seconds and reply me. What else? Here it is saying listener is no listener kind of that thing came, right?
Yeah. Listener.
You know the answer. Okay, just think a little bit. I'm not rushing. Because these are the things you are going to face from day 1, day 2, till last, when you will be working.
Should be
If you are running out of ideas, tell me, I'll help you. I'll give you a clue.
Yeah, I'm just kind of drawing a blank right now. Let me see. There's no listener. Enter the password. Error. Let me see. Client. The port, is there something with the port that you, do you have the,
Something is the port. So what we can see here, it is showing no listener. Listener means ultimately blindly you can believe the port number. But another side, you are saying that listener is already running, right? ORCL, what we have done. So something is mismatching with the listener port number provided here and provided in our TNS names.ora file.
right, so you'd have to check the file to see what's going on.
And yeah, and so how to check LSNRCTL status listener name? Because we remember yesterday ORCL we have used. So see here it is showing because we did some changes, right?
Right,
So
right.
here something is messed up. Just try to understand how I'm doing troubleshooting. This is a real scenario. Rare, but
yeah,
you are senior DBA. So if you use LSNRCTL, if you do stop listener, see, but listener is here.
Right.
See it. So it is messed up. Like we have done some changes in the file, but without shutting down, we did some changes, and it messed up.
Right.
Physical file something else, in memory something else.
Okay.
So to resolve the problem, one problem is that you have to reboot the OS operating system. That is never going to be possible as a DBA. You can't. Thinking this way is a drastic wrong way. Because in server might be 10 different databases are up and running, right?
Right.
You cannot destruct other property for your own sake.
Right.
What is the way out? If reboot is not working, not going to be feasible.
Just kill the session.
Gone.
Oh, you kill the listener.
Because it was not recognizing, right? I tried to stop,
Right.
I tried to start, I tried to status, nothing was working.
Right.
And what we did, listener up, and I made a change in the data file. Means that physical listener.ora file.
Right. So this command, the -9, that's the command you use to kill
OS process.
listener.
Yes.
Okay.
Any processes. This is the process I killed, right? These are the processes. It's very, very, very dangerous command.
Okay.
Okay. But listener service is not that important because it's not going to hamper you that much. Great way. If this is down, only the new means the user will not able to connect for some time. So I kill it. I'll just do some this thing, and now I'll start. It will start. So let me show you what is there inside TNS names. So it's there 1520. Earlier it was 3. I made it stop 3, then start, and after that, without stopping, I made it 22. That's what the internal logical connection mismatch like with a physical and the logical. Physical means the actual file, logical means it's already there in the memory. It's conflicting.
Right.
That's what it was giving error.
Right.
So problem you found, you got the problem, right? Why it was happening like that?
Right. Right.
Now I'll do what?
So
LS, NR, CPL, start, because it's already killed. It's already killed. So
Right.
we have to start. And what exactly the name of the listener? Listener underscore. This was the name.
ORCL.
See, 22 was there, right? 22.
Right.
Earlier, it was not up, it was not down. Now, if I'll check status, it will show you status also. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if you will do the same thing in the sense equal plus what I did sometime back, I want to make a new connection. That's what we were doing. ISMADMIN@ORCL, enter, or is the password. Coming back to picture, it connection established. Now I can select whatever, which database you connected Courtney by sitting here. If you want to answer is very simple. Select name from the database. Why it is not showing?
Well, the instance, you hadn't actually connected to the instances yet.
Yeah, I connected, right? Because
Connected to the instance.
we connected to database, right? If an instance is not up and running, you can't connect.
Right. It says the view does not exist. Name from VDOL database. So the server process connected to the instance. Database view. So if the instance, you've already connected to the instance, the instance is up and running, PS-EF grep P1,
Yeah.
the instance is up and running.
Yes.
So then it should be the view,
Simple.
the default.
Which user you have logged in? It is not super user. They cannot check.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, that's right.
Views.
That's right. The sys has to be.
Because we have logged in as a user,
Right.
as a developer.
Right.
But
So you
can
need to go to the
ask
sys. Yeah.
Upendra, by sitting on the client machine in the remote, will be able to connect as a DBA.
That's right.
That could be the question, genuine question. You don't have PuTTY access, but you want to do activity as a DBA by sitting on the client machine. Is it possible?
Right.
If
You have
you
to
have
switch
the
to sys.
credentials, this @ORCL as sysdba.
Oh, okay. You have to put @ORCL. You just can't use.
You are sitting on the client machine. Remember, Patni.
Okay.
ORCL is basically the all absolute path you have given this ORCL. This ORCL is the name available in the TNS names.ora file.
I see.
Getting the picture, what I told you?
Right.
So,
Right.
all the information available there only, you will not understand because it is treating this terminal where we are working as a client side. So all the rule getting followed.
Right.
Though we are sitting same, but the process what we have done yesterday, same thing is following. Now, if you do select
Yes, yes, interesting. Okay. Okay, so the sys user doesn't have the, it doesn't have enough of, the super privileges to be able to, have access to the, ORCL. You have to log in as sys at ORCL, as
Yes,
sysdba.
sys or system. System have also this permission to this thing. So if you remember the system password, while installation, we used to give the password if you remember. Okay. So here I'm giving system at the ORCL as sysdba. Password is Oracle. If you don't remember Oracle, you will not be able to log in.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
know password.
yeah.
You're getting the point, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
But the main question, the reason we are discussing all this topic is right now, is about to start now.
Okay,
Suppose I'm giving ISM admin or sys, whichever way, at the rate ORCL. Okay. Password is Oracle like here. And then connected, you can just use here select from tab or whatever this thing. All these things are showing, right? Table name on call, column name, format, a for. Now, what I'm doing here, the point is to be noted. You have to observe this. Here, what I'm doing, I'm opening another terminal. Though I'm saying I'm treating as a server side. Okay, right now this prompt. Earlier one, I was treating this as a client machine.
okay,
Here, if I check PS minus EF grep TNS, what I'm doing, I'm going to LSNRCPL STOP listener. I'm stopping the listener.
okay,
Listener stop. If you check the status, you'll be getting only one listener. Listener underscore ORCL gone. One is down.
okay.
Make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Question to you is,
So,
if you see the picture, is this connection still at absolute or it terminated? Means the terminal what we are here is still active or it's terminated because the listener service is down. Example, I'm opening another terminal for you to give you a little bit more clarity. I'm trying to connect with the ISM admin. Again,
okay.
at the rate ORCL, password Oracle. The listener is down. We won't be able to connect. That is absolutely clear. No issues.
Okay,
But already established connection, is it going to work or give error? That is the interview question.
could you say that again?
Question is, we have terminated this service, right? Listener service.
Right,
So that is the reason we were not able to connect to the new session. As I shown you here, if you see, here is giving error. Giving error, right?
no listener.
Yes, no listener means you are not able to
Right,
connect. And that is
right.
true. So if listener is not there, you will not able to connect to the user. As I told you, that listener should be
So,
up.
right,
Question
right.
is, whoever is already established, these are the established earlier, then I shut down the listener. Is this connection is active or it is already gone? Gone means whatever red line is there, it's already crossed, or it is working okay.
Okay, well, the listeners on the server side,
Yes, listener is server side, it's down.
right, it's down.
Listener is always going to be in server side.
Right, so. Well, I mean, from the way you're asking the question, it would still be active, but you'd probably have to make a command to stop.
Okay, let me show you first whether it is working or not. First, we have to clarify that one, right?
Yeah.
it's working. What point I wanted to make here is, once connection established, the work of listener is done for that session. No new connection will be allowed, but if already connected 10, 15, 20,000 connection, 1,000 sessions is already connected, that will be active until you are not exiting and retrying to connect.
See.
Logically, what we used to think, connection listener down means the connection disconnects, right? No, this is a logical way.
Right.
But it is not the case. This point proves listener is going to help you only and only the time of connection. That's it. Once connection done, responsibility is going to be there on the server process only.
Okay.
Example. I'm giving one example so you'll never forget. Suppose any normal good hotel, suppose you are going to meet a guest, they are never allowing you to go directly into their room. Right?
Right.
You have to go to reception because you don't know which room guest is due to security reason.
Right.
So you will go to reception, they will be helping you. Maybe somebody else will just escort you to the room or whatever, they will allow you to go there.
Right.
Once you are in, the responsibility of that reception or that hotel is gone for that person. Still he is there in the premises. Again, if in the different hotel, different this thing, again the same process will be followed. Same way here also. Once connection established, you are inside the room, nobody will question. How long? Till you are not going out of the room, means out of the this thing.
Right.
So new connection will not allowed only. Whoever is already working, they will be working perfectly all right.
Right. Right. I got you. So the new connection is not allowed.
Yes. And that's what I have already shown you practically. It's not sake of saying only. If you remember, I have shown you here, right? New connection. But if you will exit here and try connecting again the same way, okay.
Yeah, you'll be able to.
ISM admin, ISM admin @ORPL password. Make sense?
Right. You'd have to end the other session. The other session would have to.
Yeah. If you're exit, you cannot until unless listener is not up and running. But if you start the listener, thing will work. Thing will work perfectly all right.
Okay.
Now I'm going to start the listener and then I'll show you another one thing. If you try now, it will work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another way of checking whether your connection, what you have established, connection means what? This ORCL is available in the TNS names.ora file, yes or no?
Yeah, it should be. Yes, it should be.
Yeah.
Login denied.
TNS names.ora. So we are referring this one, correct? @ ORCL is this now. We are referring this, not this. whenever we are giving at the rate.
Okay.
So this is what we are saying. Technically, it's a connect string we are saying. Whenever somebody says connect string means you are referring to TNS names.oras, whatever, representing the entire server means which is the host name, which port it will connect, which database it will connect.
Or Celia.
So we used to have little confusion to start with. So that's what I'm keep reminding you. This ORCL is different. This ORCL is actual. This you can change to Courtney, Upen, whatever. That name you have to connect with. Then ORCL will not work. To avoid discrepancies, we have to give the name of the database into this. But this is not the syntactical rule that we have built for our own convenient as a DBA application team or that kind of. Upendra, can you change this ORCL and show me again? Yes, I can. Instead of ORCL, I'm giving Upen. Okay, just for FYI. If I go here now, once connected, it's okay. Now I'm at the rate ORCL Oracle. See, it is finding in the file, searching and searching. Means 2 to 3 times maybe it will search and then timeout error kind of some error will you will get. See, wait for some few more seconds. Because it is searching the entire system, that means where this client is, all the where this file and all those configurations is there. That's what it is taking time. Could not resolve this, could not find him.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So hope the point I want to just keep you hitting regularly this name and this name. This is the actual name through which connection will be established, not this.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm
Interesting. Yeah.
taking back to the original one just to avoid you. And again, just for FYI, this is case insensitive. If I'm giving ORCL, if you gave caps or small, both will work okay. Example, let me show you example also, so you will not forget. I gave small, but I'm trying to connect with a capital letter here. Okay. I gave wrong password. Okay.
Right.
ISMADMIN ORACL. Okay, makes sense?
Yep.
So this is actual, I gave small, but this is I gave capital. So small capital, it will work. No need to be worrying.
Yep.
Now,
yep.
If you have made a connection like this one, and Here, let me show you one more scenario. I was thinking to show you it, gone out from my mind. Yeah. Do you remember something called why we are using ping command, P-I-N-G, ping server name?
The ping is to test to see whether there's some kind of communication. If the communication is, it's testing the network to see if you can get a response back.
Yeah, testing the
Something.
network for the server, it's active or not active. It's available in your accessibility point or not, correct? Suppose you have the network connectivity, everything is open, but database, the server is down. You're not going to ping back, right?
Right. Right.
So ping IP address or server name, it will be checking the signal whether it is up and running or not. If up and running already, but you have the accessibility to the server or not, those kind of thing checking, correct?
Mhm.
Same thing that we are doing from the OS perspective. Yes or no?
Okay. From the OS
The
perspective.
operating system, that is the
Right.
server is the on or off, right?
Right.
Same way, by sitting from the client side, from the
Mhm.
database connectivity point of view,
Right.
the
Right.
database label, whenever we
Right.
are connecting in this way, we are ignoring the layer of OS, right?
Right. Right.
How we are going to ping database label thing by sitting on the client.
Mm.
TNSPING, then ORCL. Again, this ORCL is what? The ORCL, which is available in the TNS names.ora.
Right.
It is returning okay. So everything is okay. List the connection if you have genuine authentication, user ID, password. Port is open, status is good, all those kind of things. Now
Right.
I'm shutting down listener and pinging the same thing. I'm giving the different case study to you now. So far this is good. You are okay with that?
Right. Right.
I'm setting up the listener now in the server side.
Okay.
I'm repeating this. I'm testing from the client, remote machine where developers are working from there.
Okay.
Not in the sitting in the database. Though same machine I'm using just to show you.
Okay.
So here what I'm just doing, I'm shutting down the listener. So LSNRCELSPOP stop LISPNER_ORPL. I'm doing the same thing now. Developer will complain saying, Upendra, listener, your listener is down. Please up. If you are sitting on the server, are you going to check my server is up and running or not? Never, right? Normally. But from outside, you can check. Now I'm starting it and showing you again. Same thing. Makes sense? Now it's pinging okay.
Okay.
Now I'm setting another database. And again, I'm checking here. TNS ping or here. I'm checking. Then now it's connection. Here, let me SQL plus ISM admin @ORCL Oracle. We have seen last day also, same error. Yes or no?
Yeah,
Error?
Oracle not available, yeah.
And here, if you go TNS ping, it is showing okay. What does it mean? Through TNS, we are going to check the listener port active or not active, not the database. Okay.
Right. Okay,
So
right. So it's
listener,
checking.
listener or port is open or not, how we will check it this way. Sometime when we are doing migration, by mistake, this particular port has not been requested to open in the net security team. Very powerful team have any or every organization nowadays. If you want to open a port request, if you want to give a request to open a port, you need maybe 1 month time minimum. Different layer, different level of approvement, including VP is needed for these kind of port opening, just for FYI. Maybe they are going to take few seconds to activate it, but no, they are going through different department, different labor up to VP for one port open. And region you can understand nowadays, right? How this data are vulnerable
Right.
for the security reason.
Right.
Make sense? Nothing to do with technical, but just I wanted to share the story.
Interesting. Yeah. Right.
If you forget to open the port, because actual port will be used when the migration day, the thing will be live. Then only the thing will be open and used by the end user, correct? If this port is not open, entire 1 day, 2 day migration process is to be rolled back. Nobody will listen, or the net security team will never listen to anybody, including VP, to just open it now. They know everything is good, only opening the port, maybe few seconds will take, but they will not open. You have to go through process. Entire operation on maybe 48 hours you are struggling, not only you, all entire team, then a very big migration, everything have to be fall back if one port is not open. You do request, wait for a month, do that whole process one more time. Such an important step is this.
Right. So you're saying that the port has to be open.
It has to be open.
Right. Okay.
In this case, 1522. Because you are able to, because this different level of this thing is there. Maybe the server from where you are means login, it is open, but it is not open for public.
Right.
Once the application will be live, public end user will be connecting to your database, right?
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of stations used to be there. They are considered as the outsider.
Right.
From the development perspective, or not development, end user perspective.
Right.
So on prerequisite, we used to do these kind of checking, whether port is open or not.
Right.
Okay. So this is all about, I know about the listener. Okay. So before I'll end, let us have a little bit brief about listener log. If somebody will ask, Courtney, do you know listener log? Yes, yes. When we are creating listener, when it is up, down, all those things used to be there. Apart from that, can you please share any other information which is available into the listener.log file? Let us see what all are the things. How to check the location, LS, NR, TPL, status, listener, underscore, whichever listener, command not found, LS, NR, CTL. L was missing, okay. I have just, so this is the listener schedule not showing. So let me, because it's, so let me check PS minus grep TNS listener is, sorry, PS minus EF grep TNS. Okay, so I was giving some type of LSNREPL status listener name. If you see here, can you see?
Yeah, log.
But this under alert, this log XML file will be a little bit confusing for you or me. This is not the exact thing we will be checking. Okay, if you'll go and check log.xml, okay, I'm doing cat. Okay, so if you check here, ultimately tell minus 100f listener.xml. Makes sense why I'm doing this?
Well, you're checking for
Going on
some
in
kind of error.
listener log file. I'm trying to stop listener, and I'll try to make successful connection. I'll try to make unsuccessful connection, and we'll see the difference.
Mhm.
So you'll come to know what is there in the listener log for lifetime. If anybody will ask, you'll be able to answer it easily.
Mhm.
Make sense what we are going to do?
Yeah, right.
Good. So I just minimize this size just for a little bit. And this window also I'll minimize. So I'll give the command so you'll be able to see what's going on. Hope you are able to see both the screen. Okay. So I'm going to start the release startup because this thing is I'll start this thing, and listener is already I think up and running. Still I'll check it and then I'll establish the connection. So this thing is up, then I'll check listener PS minus EF where TNS. So what I can see, it's already up. So I'll make it down. Okay. So that LS and TPL stop listener name.
Yeah.
See, you got some message. Argument this stop, something got stopped. Okay.
Right.
What time? Okay. So from Oracle ID, somebody have given. Okay. So if you see, In this, you'll be getting listener description, this, that, this time, listener, listener, this command has been given, this process ID, whichever the ID is there, listener, completed, notification, stop. Means
Right.
it is stopping. So one is very crystal clear. It is giving us the message when it is being stopped. Yeah. Next,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the just start. So start stop already there. Still, I would like to. So here also same thing. If you go instead of stop, it will be start.
Right.
So start stop is already done, and which status, which particular host, this, everything is there here. Okay. Now, I'm going to do some successful connection. I'll do some unsuccessful connection.
Okay.
So you remember what I'm trying to say is unsuccessful, successful. ISNADMIN@ORCL. Hit enter or see successful.
Right.
This time Oracle, this thing which this is Oracle user, you'll be getting different user if clients are connecting with different. So this will give you the idea. Okay. So this thing is there, process ID, which process ID connected. See, this thing program SQL plus, it may be SQL developer. So it will be writing here SQL developer through which you connected, right? All the detail will be available here.
Right.
Okay. Port internal port is getting generated, established, which database it connected, ORCL.
Right.
Okay. So host and everything is there. I'm giving exit. So exit means nothing is happening here. Sometimes people used to think, okay, no, everything is getting when logged in, when exit, this is going to be available in the listener log. No, never. That's what I'm showing you practically here live. Now I'm going to connect, show you ISMadmin@ORCL. I'm giving wrong password.
Okay, so it should show up in the log.
So yeah, so here, if you'll go and check, hardly here you will be seeing message, this, whatever is there, type unknowns, type 16, host ID is local, this thing, okay, host address is same thing. I'm trying to make the difference, success on success, okay? Just I'm trying to map or just exactly matching. This thing connection ID is this, ORCL same this. So host name is this one, port number is just exactly time to time dynamic change, establish. Okay, establish ORCL 0 established. So port number this. So here nothing is different. You can only see that it tried, successful, unsuccessful. Here nothing shows. If you check difference, nothing is there.
Right.
But what you can claim that somebody tried to connect, from which user they are trying, from which particular port they are trying, all detail will be there. But successful and unsuccessful, inside database only you will be able to check.
Right.
Okay. So answer to the question, log file is going to have the detail, shutdown startup of the listener status, and who all are the guys trying to connect database. Successful, unsuccessful, we are not able to. So from the log label. Inside database, you label it. Okay,
Right.
so that's it. What I know about listener, and that is enough for you to crack any interview in this.
Right. So the log file would just show who tried to connect to the database,
Yes,
but it's not going to say whether there was a
successful.
successful connection or not. It'll just,
Yeah.
if there was an attempt.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
That's it from my side for today.